What's up, everybody? Steven here with another video. Just picked up a Bally Gilligan's Island pinball. Got it off Craigslist. Popped up on Craigslist. I was luckily the first person to get there. The guy had like 4 other people wanting to grab it. I beat them all to it and picked it up. Machine's actually in really good condition. As far as the playfield goes, it's dirty as all get out, and that's kind of the purpose of this video. I just wanted to kind of walk you guys through what I do to a pinball when I get one. Usually, you know, I go through and shop it out. There is a local guy here in town that helps me out also. Sometimes, you know, if I'm busy or don't have time, I'll carry it to him. But right now I've got some spare time, and I'm gonna be going through this Gilligan's Island. Gonna shop it out, gonna strip the playfield down, gonna clean it, wax it, gonna LED it, which I actually just started on the back box. Gonna clean that back box up real good and get the LEDs in it, and gonna show step by step, you know, what I do to a pin when I shop it. You know, we're gonna rebuild the flippers. The cabinet on this guy, it's a little faded, as you can see. But that's common with a lot of Bally and Williams pins, on the red especially. So Gilligan shirt's actually supposed to be red, so you can tell how faded it is. But other than that, this pin, you know, it is a diamond plate, so it's going to clean up real nice. It does have some insert wear around the treasure chest, which is common with Gilligan's Islands. But this one's actually not the worst I've seen. I think it's going to actually be just fine and clean it up real good, and I think it'll be okay. Other than that, this pin is actually really solid, and I think it'll clean up really well. But after I get the playfield stripped down and everything, I will show you guys what that all looks like. Okay, it's a couple days later here, and I've got the Gilligan's Island playfield stripped down, all except for just a couple things. So the drop targets, I probably am not going to be replacing those, because these are actually in pretty decent shape. So I'll just be giving those a good cleaning. These flippers are going to be, you know, completely taken off. New flippers, you know, flipper rebuilds and all that. But, you know, I'll pretty much have everything else stripped off the playfield. The pop bumpers, I'll be rebuilding those also. So those are going to get completely dismantled and taken out eventually. But basically right now what I have is a playfield stripped down to where I can clean it. And as you can see, you know, this is years of dirt and muck on this playfield, and it's just, you know, filthy. But I think this one's going to clean up really nice. Good thing about these diamond plates is they really clean up good. And this one doesn't, you know, it doesn't have that much wear. It does have a little wear here, but I'm going to get one of those slot covers for that guy, for that little piece there. Does have a little bit of wear around the treasure chest insert, but that is very common with Gilligan's Island. These inserts here actually look okay. There's a little bit of lifting on some of them, but the rest of the playfield is actually really good. A little piece of paint came off of that one insert when I rubbed it. Yeah, that insert right there's got some lifting also. But for the most part, the playfield is in pretty decent shape. You know, I'd give this one probably about a 7 out of 10. And once it's clean, you know, we'll get at least an 8 or a 9 out of 10 on this guy. But everything's cleaned up, and as you can see, I try to stay as organized as I can when I'm tearing one of these apart. So I like to try to group things together. Plastic bags for everything, and as you can see, I'm using my other pinballs here to keep all the metals and plastics and some of the ramps and everything in. So okay, so next step will be to actually clean all this gook off the playfield. What I'll probably use is just some light glass cleaner, not too much, because I don't want to, you know, get water inside of the playfield, but just a light misting of glass cleaner just to get the crud off of it. And then we'll hit it with some Novus 2, and that'll get rid of some of the little scratches and a lot of the heavier dirt areas, like around the pop bumpers and all that, where it's really filthy. And then after we Novus it up and get it good and clean and all the dirt off of it, Then we'll actually start putting the wax on. So we'll be putting about 3 coats of wax on this guy. So after I get the playfield all cleaned up, I'll make another short video and we'll go from there. Okay, it's a few days later now on the Bally Gilligan's Island pen that I'm shopping. I've got all of the metal rails put back on, buff those and polish those out. Put 3 coats of wax on the playfield. It's nice and clean. I have the underside of the playfield. I have cleaned. I cleaned the ball ramp, or the ball subways underneath there. Got them all nice and clean. Got a lot of the soot and stuff off the bottom. I still got a little bit right there I need to get off. I've got all of the LEDs under the playfield installed, and all of the GI LEDs have been installed now. So that's where we're at. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting ramps, plastics, star posts, all that just good stuff on. I've got the slingshots and everything put on. And after I get everything put back together, I will give the flippers, I'll put the new flippers on and rebuild the flippers. I've got 2 flipper rebuild kits for it. And we'll get this thing back to business. It is looking really good. It's actually turning out really nice. I think this is going to be a really nice nice pen once I get it back together. All right, I'll give you another update when I get some plastics put on. Okay, it's a couple days later now, and the Gilligan's Island is done. Got everything put back together. Probably should have left the glass off, but I just got through. What I do after I shop a pen is I go through all the switch edge testing, all of the coils, make sure all of them fire. I had to adjust this Jungle Run ramp. It was sticking a little bit, so I had to adjust that. Put a little grease on there, tighten it down a little, and it works fine now. But as you can see, it looks beautiful. It turned out really well. I do need to, print out some free play apron cards for it. But this was a fun project. Took me about, if I had to guess, I would say about 12 hours of total work time. And that's with me, stripping the playfield down like I showed earlier. Waxing, I put 3 coats of wax on it, scrub the playfield clean with Novus. I did do some work off camera. I took the kickback solenoid and the kicker solenoids. I took them off and apart and scrubbed them down. They were filthy. And I also rebuilt the the flippers. I rebuilt both the flippers off camera. If you guys want, leave me a comment, and on the next pen that I do, I'll film that. But this guy's completely done, and just played my first game on it just a little while ago. Plays great, but we can start it up and get one going here. It's gonna be interesting playing pinball with one hand. You can see the carousels moving around. Oh, drain already. Almost impossible to play with one hand. But that's it. That's the Gilligan's Island. And if you guys, are more interested to see, a more detailed pinball shopping out, I've actually got my space shuttle. Forgive the mess right now. It's a huge mess in here right now, but space shuttle I'm going to be pulling out here, and it's actually going to get a playfield swap. I'm going to buy, one of those new Mylar overlays that one of the guys on Pinside is selling. And I'm going to be putting that on the space shuttle. So that will be the next project, and it will be a doozy. But right now, the Gilligan's Island is done, and I'm going to push it into place, and maybe I'll get some play at one of the next parties. Haven't really decided if this is going to be a keeper or not. It's kind of one of those pens that it doesn't really match my theme that I have going on in my arcade. As you can tell, I've got, Blast Action Hero, Stargate, Space Shuttle, Space Station, Demo Man, Star Trek, Johnny, and T2. I I'm also working on a Doctor Who right now, so all my pins are kind of sci-fi themed. That's kind of what I like. With pins, I really themes mean a lot to me. Gameplay is a big one, but themes, to me, the game's got to be appealing to me as far as the theme goes, and the gameplay's got to be good. With that said, Stargate, it might be on the chopping block soon. I haven't really decided on that one yet, but we'll see. But that's it. That's the Gilligan's Island. It's all done. Turned out great. I would give this pin, as far as the playfield goes, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. It's diamond plate, of course. I did put a little mylar right here, a little piece of mylar right here on the treasure chest, because it did have some insert wear there. But other than that, this playfield's really nice, and this machine cleaned up extremely well. A little bit of reflection on the glass, but the cabinet, you know, like most Gilligan's Island, the reds are faded. Gilligan's shirt should actually be red, and as you can tell, the reds have faded to yellow. But this cabinet's in really good condition. It is missing that top piece of silver molding, which you cannot buy anywhere. If anybody knows where to get that, let me know. But other than that, the Gilligan's Island's done. And if you guys, you know, want a more detailed pinball shop video, let me know. I'll do one. This was kind of a high level, just kind of showing the different pieces and parts to what it takes to shop a pinball. And in case you guys were wondering, this is everything that's left over when you shop a pinball. So, new star posts, all the old bulbs, all the old rubbers, all the old flipper parts. You know, it's just a bag full of junk. And that'll be going in the trash. But all I got to do now is wax the glass and put it into its place and let it get played. So you guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, give me a subscribe. You know, I don't release videos very often, but you know, mine's, you know, mostly arcade and pinball related. So I like to show off my restores and my projects that I'm working on. I'm not as, you know, detailed as most of the guys out there, but I do like to do high level, you know, type stuff. And I can get technical with it if you guys like that better, but I kind of like to keep my stuff on the high level and just kind of show what I've done, because there's guys out there that make these real long videos, and to me they kind of get boring after a while. But hopefully this one's not going to be too long. But anyways, thanks for watching, and you guys take care.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic port aboard this tiny ship. The mate was a mighty sailing man, the skipper brave and sure. 5 passengers set sail that day for a 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour. The weather started getting rough, the tiny ship was tossed. If not for the courage of the fearless crew, the minnow would be lost. The minnow would be lost. The ship's aground on the shore of this uncharted desert isle, with Gilligan, the skipper too, the millionaire and his wife, the movie star, the professor and Mary Ann, here on Gilligan's Island. Now this is the tale of our castaways. They're here for a long, long time. They'll have to make the best of things. It's an uphill climb. The first mate and his skipper too will do their very best to make the others comfortable in their tropic island nest.
No phone, no light,
no motor cars, not a single luxury. Like Robinson Crusoe, it's primitive as can be. So join us here each week, my friends. You're sure to get a smile from 7 stranded castaways here on Gilligan's Island.